first duty of our town sergeant is to find out who took my gavel.
Who took it?
She collected everything.
Okay, it was Deb. I'm already Sal.
It was.
Next thing I'd like to do is the bubbler needs some attention over here. We were really thirsty and we went to press the button and there it was, gone. No
Okay.
more water.
So,
But that's okay.
I will, does anyone like to make a motion to extend the meeting?
I'll make a motion to extend the meeting until, what do you want, 11?
Yeah. 11.
Let's hurry.
Okay, that's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mrs. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Galais?
Yes.
Mr. Biragad?
Yes. So David, how would we proceed now?
So, Mr. President, I think, and again, I'm just going to try to capture what the reason why the Charter Review Commission separated this is if you were to embrace the concept of an appointed town administrator, this would go on the ballot, and I even did a rough draft for you, as one question.
Oh,
If you vote yes, you change everything in the charter that affects a town administrator that's elected to an appointed town administrator. Why would you do that? Because an elected town official has certain powers distinct of the council, as opposed to an appointed town administrator that's hired, who works for the council. So there's a whole provision flows throughout the charter. So if you would, so the real thing is to look at this.
So we only have one more vote then.
This is really essentially one more vote.
Okay, I wouldn't have taken a break if I knew that.
we could vote or not vote.
There are provisions within this that you might want to.
Well, that's the difference, but I mean, if you don't get beyond the concept of amending the charter to reflect the town administrator,
It's a whole new ball game. Yeah.
but there's like, you know, obviously if you vote, there may be some provisions that you may want to fiddle with, but the concept is,
To accept all of the pollutants.
right,
Right.
that's the concept. And I even reduced it to one question because, by the way, the question was presented in similar form in 2010. The clerk got me a copy of 2010. So, and that's the way they did it. They presented it, and I think that's the only way to do it because if you ever break this down to questions and they,
Like multiple choice.
well, yeah, you'd have a big problem. You would have a real problem with your form of government. And ultimately, you either gotta have an elected town administrator as you proposed,
Yeah.
or you've gotta have an appointed one with all these changes, or
Right.
virtually all these changes. Maybe there's a couple of changes.
Well, it's easy for me.
See, it's not easy for me because I am really torn, but, so in this respect, I'm gonna, well, because I don't know which way to go on this, I would vote for the voters, but, because I don't have an opinion, I really don't, I don't know. I see the pros and cons on each side.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel. I feel that a person that is elected goes for something, hopefully they really like. We know they're part of this town. They have vested interest. I've seen and right over the border, more than one, they had to pay off the contract and it didn't last. And it created a havoc over
Oh,
there.
you mean they were unhappy with him, so they just paid him off to get rid of him?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm just gonna tell you what I've seen, and you all have a right to your opinion, but I feel this way. Until I'm proven wrong about
So
it.
you're staying with the elected officials?
Absolutely.
I'm 100% with you.
I'm torn, I don't know.
I think we're very lucky to have gotten Mr. Zofsky, who chose to step into this.
But what we can't.
But I think a lot of times it comes down to a popularity contest. And I think we need the most qualified person to be running this business of the town.
I think things are changing. Gary, everyone may not like everything you say, but I think you've earned respect of the people for what you've done in the town. And I think people maybe who's coming in, they want to see something different. It's not just if you have the biggest family here anymore. Or if you all go to the same church, I think things are changing.
If you're a townie.
every day. Or really, look at,
It is
poor
a-
God, geez, weird.
It's still if you're a county.
It is.
It's, well,
It is.
they
It
just
is.
know where the family plots are, that's about all.
I have,
But I believe that.
if you don't mind, Mr. President,
No, I understand.
I have some concerns about the qualifications, because under the strictest interpretation of the qualifications that are listed here, I don't qualify.
You do.
I do not.
You have management experience, you've already
It
got.
says, or any combination of education and experience that is substantially equivalent.
And I agree with that, but what I said, Councilwoman, is in the strictest interpretation, I don't qualify. And that would be, do I have a master's degree? Someone says that master's degree is qualified. But, so I get, we go from one extreme to the other. I mean, we have a circumstance right now where the qualifications are you breathe and you live in the town.
Exactly.
And that's not to be disrespectful, but let's face it, that's, you're a resident
Yeah.
and you live in the town. I mean, yeah, that's it, you're a resident, you're alive. Those are the qualifications. Of course, you have to go out and get a few votes. And that matters. I don't mean to, make light of that. But I think, I do think that an appointed position is where we need to go. I don't know, in the past, I think some of this has been about the people sitting here. I would hope that it's not about, the person in the chair, more about establishing the right system to guide this town. It's a complicated business that requires expertise, and as confident as I am, and I certainly appreciate the kind words, I still feel that I don't have everything that's needed to be doing all of what's required. So I think this sets it up. I mean, if we're comfortable with that language, I do think that at least 5 years of actual experience as a prior manager, that's another high hurdle. That we're not a big town, and as you look at folks that are going to aspire to be an appointed town administrator, where will they have been if they had to be somewhere for 5 years? You're talking about, they're not going to be in Rhode Island,
Absolutely.
because they'll be going to a bigger community, not a smaller one. And that's what happens. We'll get folks coming from Maine or New Hampshire, perhaps, to say, okay, I've been in a 4,000, 5,000 person community, and I've been the town manager. Okay, I guess. I just think we exclude a lot of people, a lot of potential with some of this. But those are my only concerns. I mean, the idea of an appointed administrator, I completely endorse. Completely endorse.
Mr. President, may I?
Yes.
I'm not adverse to putting this out to the public to decide whether we go with an appointed town manager or an elected town administrator. I can tell you that I have some grave concerns about the composition of whatever council making the decision of who's going to be the day-to-day operations person in the position of town manager. Whether it be 5 council members, you need 3, or it's 7, you need 4. Terms, contractual obligations, I just think it's a recipe for disaster. I'm a firm believer that you vote for who you want to do the job for you. The checks and balances here is a separation of town administrator from town council. From our legal, there's also the legal aspect too. There's a separation. We do appoint the judges. It's different. To have a town, there's so much I want to say about it, and I just can't get it all out at once. I'm definitely against the town manager for a number of reasons. I think the people in town should make that decision every 2 years. And if they're doing a good job, and if it's a popularity contest, so be it. That's the voice of the people, Vox Populi. Let their voices be heard. But to have the town council appoint a manager for the town, you know what?
Who works for them?
Who works for them and appeases them, or does what they, no. The town administrator works for the people of this town. It's just the way I look at it. Every 2 years, do a good job to get reelected. It's a pretty simple process. As far as qualifications, yeah, they're a little weak. But again, that's up to the people of the town. I mean, there are small business people I know could run this town. We all know these folks. We got house husbands, house mothers that could actually run this town. It's all about the interpersonal skills. So you're gonna measure someone's degree here, the 5 years, how are they gonna get along and how are they going to keep the dynamics of all the departments functioning? I may vote to put it, if there's a motion and there's a second, I will be forced to vote, but I'm not for it. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm still torn, so I'm not gonna argue with you myself, so I don't know. Because where my position, I'm torn, I'm gonna vote for putting it on the ballot.
So, Ms. Conklin,
Is there any, Mr. President, is there any changes to any of the provisions that anybody saw jump out at?
May I, Mr. Solicitor, first of all, I think that if there's a motion, a second, and a vote is taken, then we would go through those provisions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the amendments to the North Smithfield Home Rule Charter for an appointed town administrator.
To make
Be
it
put on the
simple,
ballot.
to make it simple,
An appointed, I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say, that actually, if you look at the page 6,
Section two.
just so we can have the issue.
Section 2.
Section 2 talks about changing the form of government from an elected to an appointed. Then we just have a vote on that one section, and then obviously, if there's any other changes to be made, we can do that.
So the motion would be to accept the change you presented, ready in section 2.
Just so that it's clear what, you know. the
I'd
meaning
like
is.
to make a motion to change the form of town government to an appointed town administrator, effective 2020.
Okay, so that's a motion. Do we have a second? I will second that. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. McGee?
No.
Mrs. O'Hara?
no,
Mr. Zelinski?
No,
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
the rest is all moved. Motion to adjourn, is that okay?
We have to, is it,
We're gonna schedule
Thursday?
a meeting
Do
for
we have-
Thursday to,
Continue.
rather just continue the meeting to Thursday, and I'll, rather than have to worry about posting, right? We'll continue the meeting.
Well, I have to report
Yeah.
because I have other stuff on.
All right, so we're still gonna continue this matter
Yeah.
until Thursday. This Thursday. Now give me time, Mr. President, to try to attempt, again, the council's going to ultimately direct me, but I'm going to take probably draft 3, chop out all the sections that you did not accept, and start from there. That's obviously going to get me down to somewhere in the 20s, and then I'll see if I can further consolidate. But it's only going to be a recommendation to consolidate those things. You have to decide if you want those groupings that way. I'm going to try to group matters that are matters of formality. I'll try to group them together to make one question. If I can do that all in one, I'll try to do that. But the substantive ones obviously need an independent vote. Adding an asset commission, adding a town planner, those are big substantive changes in the charter. And if you have a different point of view on that day, I'll certainly do whatever you tell me to do.
okay, so we'll make a motion to continue the meeting?
Well, continue this matter
Continue the
until
matter.
the meeting on
26.
26th. Sorry, I lost track of the meeting.
well, 9/5, you know.
So the motion is to continue the matter until 26th, Thursday the 26th. That's the motion.
Second, the motion?
call.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. McGee?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes, and I'll make a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Mr. President, I may add another, in addition to this matter, another sub-paragraph of something describing